concentrate power. You're in the dog zone for an hour. Come on. You know the number. 1-900 hot dog. 1-900 hot dog. 1-900 hot dog. Yeah, 9,000.
Welcome to the DOGGZZONE 9000, the official podcast of 1-900hotdog.com. We are the last website paying people for daily articles on deranged things. Nothing like it exists anywhere else anymore, and we can only do it if you support us at patreon.com/1900hotdog. You also get bonus podcasts, Discord events. That's the whole pitch. That stuff I just said is the entirety of advertisement we do across all our things. We are not good at monetizing. I'm Sean Baby from the internet, and my partner has a 78% Zowie rating at boysboysboys.boys.ru. He's a gigantic detective, a master of punch and seduction. He's Robert Brockway.
Here's a Brockway fact. I have also been in a movie called Detective Extra Large, but it was a very different kind of movie. No follow-up questions.
I have no follow-up questions.
One follow-up answer, yes, there were a lot of Italians in it.
My favorite Brockway fact. Our co-host, our guest, is an author.
Oh, wow.
You know what?
Did I just get fucking
main
demoted?
host. Our full main president, CEO, is an author, game developer, social media favorite, and columnist right here at 1-900hotdog. She's a gigantic detective, a master of sound effects and seduction. She's Merritt K.
Whoop, whoop, choo, choo. Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm crossing the street at night talking on my huge 90s cell phone. I hope nothing bad happens to me.
That was me doing sound effects. I'm also a master of sound effects.
Right.
Both of you exactly as good.
Both as good as the Italian guy they got to dub Michael Winslow.
This will all make sense
Before we
eventually.
Yes, before we have a loose machinery sound effects face-off, let's plug Merritt. I want to talk about Fledgling Manor. It now has over 100 reviews on Steam, a very positive rating. That's pretty fantastic.
Yeah, it's cool. I mean, I think what's happened is that our reach has yet to exceed like people who know us. So everyone who's reviewing it likes it. And, you know, the dream is to one day break out into like the wider world where people will start calling us woke and like screaming obscenities at us in the Steam forums. But, you know, one day. But yeah, it's cool. It's a fun, you know, text narrative game about a vampire reality show. And people seem to like it. And I had a good time making it with my friends. So yeah, you can check it out on Steam.
Is it woke? Is this a fucking woke podcast?
We tried to figure it out when we were making it because we were like, well, there are black people in it, so by default, I think kind of that. And then it's also a visual novel, which I think is a woke genre, unless it's about having sex with 17-year-old schoolgirls. So,
and it's not about that.
We thought about it, but
is there a woke slider? Can I adjust it?
There should be a woke mod that you. Well, there are. I mean, they've done that, right?
It's just desaturation.
They've had to on the modding sites though. They've had to take stuff down because people will make anti-woke mods for games now. And they're just like, yeah, I don't know if we want the thing that takes off the pride flags in Spider-Man. I think we're good not hosting that one.
Yeah. I could use a little more side boob in Spider-Man. Is there an anti-woke mod that can give me a little more side boob?
I feel like that is a service that you will be well served by ModDB for.
Okay, I'll look into it.
Literally every other game is any indication, then.
Speaking of side boob, that's my transition. We're talking about Detective Extra Large today. Let's see, Merritt, you pitched this as an article on the same week I discovered it because I was researching the Eric Estrada film Light Blast.
Right.
And the director of that also created this show. Light Blast is an Italian cop movie about a villain who makes billboards explode with a laser, and I turned it into a board game to simulate Brockway while he was away working on his novel, because that's the life I've chosen for myself, and it rules.
That's how you feed your family.
That's exactly how I feed my family. So we both just discovered Extra Large. So when you pitched that, I'm like, we got to do a team working article. So we wrote it together. So do you want to do the very, very easy job of describing the show, Detective Extra Large?
Yeah. A shaven Italian Yeti kind of goes on a rampage And I think in the process, like, happens to solve a crime. But it's not like, I don't know that there's intent on his behalf. It's kind of just, he just clobbers things. He's sort of like a sweatier Hulk. Like, and when I say Hulk, I mean like Lou Ferrigno Hulk, but also like not gym buff. He's the guy you would bet on in a fight against a guy who is gym buff, because he is just like, he's like in Punch Out, like the bear guy, the Canadian, in the Super Nintendo one, and he just clobbers people. Like, he doesn't know how to fight. He's just kind of swings his giant arms at them.
And it's more than enough.
My favorite thing I learned researching this was that he's called Detective Extra Large because in the show, they find him so ridiculous that a cartoonist started drawing a cartoon of him, just his life. This huge detective's life, and called him Detective Extra Large, and then everybody in Italy just started calling him Detective Extra Large. So he's God. Like, he's out there trying to exist, and he's also fucking Charlie Brown or something, and they're all just like, "What's up, Marmaduke?" And he's like, "Fucking."
It does add a real sadness to it, doesn't it?
God.
So, and then the cartoonist turns into a private detective that starts helping him in cases. Yeah.
Right, he's not in the one we watched, I don't think. That's a different guy. He always has a black sidekick, but it's like a different guy every time. Or like there's like 2 or 3 different guys. And crucially also, this was an Italian show, but it's a Miami Vice. It's set in Miami, and it's just a Miami Vice.
Hilariously set in Miami.
Enormous, except there's just a dangerous ogre who's just like crushing the bones of lesser men.
See, the whole premise doesn't make any sense if you set this in America, because there's so many Detective Extra Larges in America.
Right.
Like this is
that's
only
our default.
This is only unique in Italy, where everybody is 5'5".
Mm-hmm.
Like that, then it's a superpower to be a huge fat guy.
Yeah, you see this guy at every buffet. 9 of this guy at every buffet. His name is Bud Spencer. He's not a big star in America, but he seems absurdly beloved in Europe. After he died, they put up a bronze statue of him in downtown Budapest. There's a German beat-em-up video game based on him. And he was an Olympic swimmer and water polo player for Italy. And he's made like 300 movies about different big guys punching people. I'm not the guy to explain him because I didn't discover him until he was like a sleepy 62-year-old swatting his way through stunt guys in this knockoff Miami Vice. But he is completely adored by the people who made this show and presumably the people watching the show. So like, there's that disconnect when you look at it. You're like, who's this gigantic old guy? And then everyone in the show's like, "Oh, you're the sexiest man I've ever seen."
He was a straight fucking hunk when he was a swimmer, when he was young.
Of course,
this is directly a Marlon Brando. This is a cheesesteak Marlon Brando. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's our closest equivalent, I would say. I want to play the theme song for season 1. It's incredible. I want you to just picture jet skis jumping in and out of the water because that's all they're playing. It's not like here's the cast. It's just here's 75 jet skiers jumping in and out of the water. Every instrument.
I was getting deeper, so I pick up the phone, and as I wait for the tone, boom, boom. Connection on the other end said extra large.
Extra large.
He came and beat the mother into the gutter. He popped him like he was a rag, and on his chest he found a tag. Extra large.
Extra large.
He's hot.
That's so much funkier than I would have assumed. Like, they do not have the same cultural shorthand for here's a show about a big fat guy that America does. Like, we would have used a lot of tubas and some trombones and like a guy with a real deep voice going, "You the big man around the house." And they're like, no, this guy fucking fucks. You gotta watch out.
Technica.
Extra large.
Was that the James Bond sting? Like, were there like a few notes of the James Bond
theme? There was, and there was also some "It Takes Two to Make a Thing Go Right."
Yes, in the one we watched, season 2, it opens with "It Takes Two."
It's not though. It's not "It Takes Two to Make a Thing." It's the Italian IP theft version.
It's a little Shaft too.
There's some Shaft.
Spiritual successor to the Shaft theme. Season 2, they went a little bit of a different direction, but not too different. I'm going to play that too.
Everybody knows that sample. You can't use that.
Just frantic early 90s club mix mixed with... at first, the gunshots are kind of rhythmic, and then they just said, fuck it, and there's just gunshots. And those are not all from clips from the show. Some of those gunshots are happening way off frame.
Sean unrelated. Cut 90% of that song, and it's all gunshots. It's just gunshots throughout the whole thing.
My favorite song, though, is one I didn't even have on the soundboard until Merritt reminded me. This is the closing theme, where they actually use a gun as one of the instruments. Someone in the band is just throwing rounds into the crowd.
That's how they play it live.
You gotta bring like a Gallagher bib to cover yourself from the human remains. I don't know why I took the whole thing. The whole thing is like this. There's a part here where I like the double shot.
That cracked me up so bad. Like I watched the whole thing. So this is like a TV movie. It's like 80 minutes long. And I had it at like 1.5 speed for most of it. But I watched the whole thing and I don't speak Italian. So I was just kind of guessing what was happening. But that, like the punchline of that song, just with like the two gunshots at the end there, just made the entire thing completely worthwhile.
Okay,
yep, absolutely.
This answers a question I only realized like right before we recorded this podcast when you started playing the song, and I was like, wait a minute, did you guys have a subtitled version? It's like,
no.
I did not have a subtitled version, and it never occurred to me to ask for it. Like the title sequence the title sequence was just it told me I speak this language. It was just it's Eric Estrada, it's saxophones, it's ninjas, it's a big guy on a little motorcycle at one point, and I was just like, yeah, I get it. I don't have to understand a fucking word.
Say no more. Yeah, the whole show is just made out of like American 80s debris. Like the other guest stars, we mentioned Lou Ferrigno, there's Pat Morita, Eric Estrada. His sidekick in season 1 is Philip Michael Thomas, and then they replace him with Michael Winslow. By the way, at least 20% of this podcast is going to be me talking about Michael Winslow. We'll get to him, but I guess what I'm trying to say is you do speak the language of extra large, even if you don't know Italian, because it is just what they think a by the numbers Miami Vice is, but then they kind of mess everything up in a way that I love.
It's perfect. I would actually, I guess I would like subs, like somebody subtitle this and bring it over. It's just like if I ever get to retire, which I obviously not, like this should be on TV all day at the rest home. Like this is what it takes to keep me from getting too riled up. Like this is my comfort watch.
It feels like very few people, like we were saying earlier, like no one in the States has seen these, or I mean, probably a few people have, but like when I went on Letterboxd to see if they were on here, I logged this one, and like the only reviews of it were either in Italian or like Dutch. So like Europeans, again, crazy for this guy, but I don't know, like no one, even when we posted the article, like there were a few people in the Discord being like, oh yeah, no, I love Bud Spencer from the Terrence and Slaps and Beans video game or whatever. Like, but yeah, it's bizarre.
Well, when we did the article, I framed it like we were learning how to fight from Extra Large, because I loved, my favorite trope of the show is, despite his lumbering non-speed, he solves every problem with just sudden punch. So if a guy has him at gunpoint, his solution every single time is just grab the gun and bonk him. But I'm making it sound way too fast. Like he's like, oh, goddamn it, fucking get up for this, these old bones. And then
he's like 60 here, right?
Yeah. There's
he's
real
over
exertion
62, I want to say.
in every movement.
Yeah. Anyway, I just like the ogre paw bonk is so funny to me. But again, the show is written and produced by people who love him. And so he's put in these scenes where women like swoon over him while he plays the saxophone. And when I say saxophone, I mean he plays like a gigantic. He plays the Monster Hunter saxophone. It is this gigantic. But they gave him the one instrument that makes him look normal size. I think they should have given him a ukulele or a triangle or something just to play it up. But,
yeah, I didn't know they made big and tall instruments. I mean, I guess it checks out.
It checks out. I mean, he has those hands. You got to have special valves for those hands. I would imagine.
He is not playing a normal instrument with those hands. Those fucking rock biter hands.
The point that I keep getting reminded of as I watch it is that they still picture him as some water polo beef Adonis, while this old man is like mumbling his lines from a chair.
He's literally Don Johnson in this show. Like this opens with them him and Michael Winslow in the actual like Miami Vice suits. Like coming off of a boat to have like a fancy lunch. It's very clear he's Don Johnson in this.
Absolutely.
He's wearing it's a Hawaiian shirt, but it's like an undersea scene, such as you might see on like a child's like bedspread or like like a, I don't know. And then also his eyes
was given to him by the King of Atlantis in season 1, episode 4.
And also like I realized in this first scene and like throughout, his eyes are like not even fully open.
No, he's just a sun-cured ham. He's just wrinkles and freckles and eyes swollen completely shut, like he's having an allergic reaction. Two hot dogs. 2 hot dogs
out of 5. I made fun of the King of Atlantis thing, but like that's kind of the plot lines they run. Like it's so 80s. It was made in like early 90s, but obviously that means it's just maximum 80s. But they did a Mystical Ninja episode. Bud actually wrote that one. With Pat Morita. And I mean, the ninja teleports. They have like psychic combat. It's fucking awesome.
I gotta watch that.
Yeah, it's really good. There's one where he dresses up like an Indian.
Of course.
There's one where they fight a voodoo cult. There's a demon cult. It's just
all of these.
Absolutely. You would have been able to name all of these if I said, just put a gun to your head. But of course, your extra large instincts would have grabbed the gun and bonked me. And I would have been completely incapacitated.
And just straight hammed you. Just hammed you into a wall.
Yeah, I love it. But anyway, he's also kind of a reacher, which means that like nobody in the show character-wise knows that he's invincible.
Yes.
So there's like all these normal-sized dudes with no chance. He's like an obvious death ham, and they're just like, you'll never... We're going to put a stop to you. Oh, what the fuck's happening? I've been bonked.
The gentle little Italian men. Just let me enrage the American monster.
Like... It's like there are scenarios that would happen in a show like Reacher in this episode, but then there's also stuff where like, like an elderly governor tries to attack him. And it's like, what was your ideal outcome here, sir? Like, he has 200 pounds on you.
Also, like, within the universe, even if you're like, okay, yeah, that's a 60-year-old man who has seen better days. In the universe, he's just an invincible murder machine. Everybody knows.
Right.
Do you remember how that scene ended?
They like hold him back?
Mm-hmm. And then what does Extra Large do?
What does Extra... I don't remember.
Can I steal? He bonks.
He
he grabs the lady, the nearest beautiful lady, by the hand and gives it a little kiss. And she is forever in love.
Right, yes.
Like they're dragging the evil governor away and he's like, oh, hey, it's a lady. He's already moved on.
Like the mind of the evil governor, like, yes, I will fight this human landslide. Like, yes, I'm going to fight this human natural disaster that buried a small village in like rural Italy. Absolutely.
He doesn't even flinch. They hold him back and he's like, just let him go. Let him bounce off of me. One other thing I like about these fight scenes is they're really... aggressively not complicated. Like grab and punch are his only moves. There's one scene I found in the article where he's fighting 4 guys and they jump him near a power box. Now, I've seen enough TV to know what's about to happen. That's like a fish tank. Like that thing, that the clock is ticking until somebody's getting put through that.
There's only one question you have when you see that, and that's, are they going to do the see-through bones effect or not?
That's the only question. But no, he like deliberately grabs 2 guys and aims them away from the power box. He's like... this reverse Jackie Chan, like he's walking through a world of ladders and ignoring every single one of them to just hand bash alone.
At some point, I just wonder if it was deliberate to just make it like just a gag, like a running gag where like we're just, or like, do they just not have a lot of prop budget? Like, they can't destroy the set because they have to reuse it for Italian ET next week.
There's not a lot of rules in around filming in Italy. Like,
yeah,
that's true. I learned that from Light Blast.
There's no way they're paying for it to like film in any of these places. They're just showing up.
Yep. I mentioned Light Blast because there are scenes that they film in San Francisco and scenes they film in Italy. And you can tell the ones in Italy, like, they had a little less value for the life of the stuntman. Like, there's some where you're like, okay, what was, like, a guy will get hit by a car and you're like, did they even tell him they were going to do that? Like, that guy's fucking dead. I guess we can kind of go through the episode we watched, even though none of us speak Italian, but just as a framework for our extra large discussion. We talked about the opening scene where the evil governor tries to pick a fight. We should also mention Michael Winslow again, because he did replace Philip Michael Thomas, who was the hunk from Miami Vice, not Don Johnson. He was the smoldering hunk with 2 R&B albums, and they replaced him with like the whoop whoop guy from Police Academy. And I think it's the right choice.
Crucially, they dub him. They dub the sound. The only thing that guy has is sound effects. That's the only reason he's a thing, is his incredible sound effects. And they dub him with not only an Italian man, but an Italian man doing a naughty little British fop accent. Like, he's like, oh,
yeah.
Like, what the fuck are you doing? And then they make him, they don't even cut the dub to do the sound effects.
Right.
It's true.
That's the craziest
They make
thing.
the Italian guy do the Italian version of the sound effects, and he's just going like, whoop, whoop, bark, bark, bark.
There's nothing like it. It is such insanity. But I think they did need a silly guy because his character is not a seduction expert. Extra large is the team's sex appeal. The elderly obese man, of course. So I guess if you're adding it all up, extra large is the muscle, the charm, the saxophone, the wild card, and the brains. So the only thing they need from the sidekick is zany. And Philip Michael Thomas is like 100% hunk. Like, you can't, he's pulling away the sex appeal onto his side. Anyway, I'm just saying it's a good direction they went.
Yeah, you need a Michael Winslow. A Rob Schneider would have been good. You can sub a Rob Schneider or David Spade in there.
Absolutely.
I feel like you get a David Spade, you're going to have all fat jokes.
Yeah, but I think he'd be scared enough of Detective Extra Large. Like, there's not the control of a Chris Farley there.
That's true, yeah. Yeah, I think what I would like about that is as the season progresses, more and more limbs would have been torn off of David Spade.
Yeah, you would just see him more beaten down and polite until at the very end he's just not talking at all.
He's just a head in a jar saying sorry a lot. I'm trying to think what happens in this episode. I'm not a reliable witness, obviously, but Eric Estrada is plotting revenge from prison. He's a recurring character in this. And Extra Large is playing saxophone in the bar. This is where we first see Michael Winslow doing sound effects. And that's when, obviously, the strangest thing I've ever seen, where the man who's famous for sound effects is being dubbed by someone going, boop, boop, I am picking up the phone now, boop, boop. I actually took a clip of it. You can hear how bad this is.
Purtroppo non possiamo rispondere in questo momento. Per favore, lasciate un messaggio dopo il segnale acustico.
Nailed it. Boop.
Boop. Boop, he says.
That's it.
Like, why wouldn't you just cut the dub right there? Unless you need the accent on the sound effects? Like the Italian's gonna be like, no, he did the wrong boop. We boop differently over here.
It's not even like dubbed right. Like, he's shaking his face around and then you hear this boop. I don't know. It's world-class nonsense.
Yeah.
Champion insanity. Also, when I was a kid, Police Academy, Michael Winslow did this thing where he did the full like kung fu scene where his speech wasn't dubbed correctly. So he'd like move his mouth and then say the words. And I thought that was such an amazing display of physical comedy. And like, at whatever I was, 8, I thought it was maybe the funniest thing that could ever be. I still think it's really good. So
it's for
good. Him to do that, like, unironically, it's just, it's such an extra layer of tragedy for him to sort of call back to one of my favorite bits as a child. But back to this, Eric Estrada, he breaks out of prison, he frames Extra Large for something. I couldn't understand any of this, but it happens fast. It's like 3 minutes of like Eric Estrada getting out and then them arresting Extra Large, putting him in prison.
They're doing a Prince and the Pauper thing, which is incredible. Yep. when the entire premise of your show is fucking nobody looks like this guy. Nobody's this huge. It's Reacher, except for they're like, okay, and now there's a second Reacher. Who do you cast?
We found a guy who vaguely looks like Reacher if we put a pillow on his tummy. Like,
30 years younger, easily.
Yeah. But okay, so what happens, as I remember it, is that there's this woman who is running against the shitty current governor who everyone hates because he gets booed on a talk show. And then this lady, Vance, is running against him. Extra Large is like friends with her. And so they hit her with a car. Like,
can we pause the car scene? Because I don't think they didn't hit her with it. She got hit by a car. She was walking across the street on the phone, never looked in any direction in the middle of the night. And here's the incredible part. As the car is bearing down on her, if they were trying to kill her, why did they honk?
That was true. Michael Winslow trying to save her.
Just the worst possible sound effect he could have made. Yeah, no, it truly looks like she did not want to live. And she really, and it doesn't cut away. Like, you see her fly over the hood. You see her, like, apparently lifeless body, like, tumble off the back. It's pretty violent.
Yeah, that was filmed in Italy. Yeah. That's how you know it was filmed in Italy.
Yeah, they killed a stuntman in a wig for that one. But
worth it.
So they then, like, I don't know if this is all part of the plan because I don't speak Italian, but she's in the hospital, and then they assume that the evil governor did it, I think, and then it seems like Extra Large drives his car up onto the governor's lawn and walks inside and just like shoots him a few times. But they don't show his face, so it's like, oh, it's obviously not him. It's this imposter. But then this is all Erik Estrada's plan to get revenge on Extra Large.
Yeah, he hired an Extra Large clone, which is, again, an outlandish. This is the only premise of your show, is that nobody is this guy.
They do have a couple of bullies in prison that I really like, because they do a scene where Extra Large has to pick a bed, and they're like, no, you can't have that bed. And they, like, really make a meal out of it. Like, no, you can't have that bed either. Let's do 11 more of these. And then it just sort of fades out like, oh, is this how bad it is in an Italian prison?
And
like,
okay, how do they tell him you can't have that bed? For like 20 minutes, they're just gently tutting him. And like, I was like, yeah, I guess this probably scans for Italian prisons. Wait, this is supposed to take place in America? Like, they don't touch you. They don't touch you. I mean, they touch you.
They do show up that night and try to murder him in his sleep. And he bashes them to sleep so easily. Like, maybe one guy lands a shot before Extra Large catches one of his punches and punches him with his own hand. It's one of his signature moves.
There's, like, bone crackling sound effects. He's, like, doing the thing that, like, someone in a superhero movie does, where, like, you block the punch by just grabbing the fist and then make them bend over by, like, crushing their hand. Like, he is so overpowered. It's crazy. Like,
does he have to, at the end... Does he have to pose them like skanks in a Boris Vallejo painting?
Yeah, so it looks like a Conan cover.
He's sitting, he's like reclining back on the table very opulently, and he poses both of the defeated men as like clutching his legs with their faces resting gently in his lap, and it's his huge meaty hands on each of their heads like, these are my women now.
No one has ever taken over a prison harder. It's so King Conan.
There's one thing during the like booking of Extra Large, they put him up against a wall for the mugshot, and it appears that he's 6'2".
Yeah, he's not a Shaq.
That's all it takes to be Reacher in Italy. He's 1 inch taller than me.
The exchange rate was really bad in Italy in the 90s. Like,
you're telling me if I stood on my tiptoes, I could have been Italy's Reacher?
You'd have been great as Italy's Reacher.
When they book him, they do a little gag where he can't quite fit into the cell door. He has to turn sideways. And also the scene, so like the scenes where Erik Estrada is breaking out of jail and then when he is put in jail are sort of like right next to each other. And the cops like sneak up on him in his house while he's sleeping in his little undershirt. And just there's like 20 cops pointing guns at him. And he's just like, oh man, what is it this time? Like, come on, I'm trying to sleep here.
I'm so sleepy.
He's so sleepy. And what I like in the Erik Estrada jailbreak, first he forces 2 guards to shoot each other up with presumably like morphine or something at gunpoint so they fall asleep. And he can make his escape. And then he escapes by jumping off the roof, smashing through the covered roof of a truck and landing right next to a beautiful woman and like 3 bottles of champagne and just starts laughing maniacally.
It's fucking baller. It's baller. Although, if he was an inch really off, he would have drop kicked that woman to death.
Yep. Yeah, or gotten a champagne right up the ass.
Or both. Just murdered a woman and gotten a champagne enema from 3 stories.
That's the only way I can finish. One thing I love about this show is everyone throws spin kicks. Like, it's such a karate universe. Like, one of the oafish guys in the prison, this 300-pound doofus, tries a spinning crescent kick in his fist fight with Extra Large. It does not work, but I just like that everyone in the universe is an orange belt. And then an Extra Large crushes both his hands. It's a great fighting style. Where are we at now? He gets out of prison and he has to fight like an evil Extra Large, just a guy who he beats the shit out of him for like 5 minutes rather than 2 seconds.
Wait, hold on. Because there's a whole like prison arc. I don't know if you scrub past it, but like there's a whole thing of he's just like dominating the prison. He just starts stealing the food from his cellmates because they don't give him enough food to remain Extra Large. And then has these like...
I can't be normal large.
There's one shot where like it shows him from the side. And he has the biggest pit stains I have ever seen. It's like, it was kind of distracting. Like,
I said Sean said this at the start. They treat him, and it's so surprising coming from like America, the way America would deal with this in the 90s. They treat him like all of his fatness is majestic. And it's just, all of it is pure strength, of course. And so they make a couple of fat jokes. It's still the 90s. But they don't make a lot. I think it was the cell. Like, you have to go in sideways through the cell was like one. And there's one where he like steals all the other prisoners' food because like he's the boss now. I don't think the pit stains were a fat joke. I think that's just a tragic reality.
Yeah. I think it's just hot in Italy that day.
Yeah.
But I did notice that because this is an Italian prison, even though they're pretending it's an American prison, there are pitchers of lovely lemon water on each of the prison tables.
Well, Eric Estrada had wine in his jail cell and a TV.
And you were thinking, like, that's because he's the fucking kingpin. Right, I get that shorthand. We do that shit all the time. Like, he's living it up in prison. No, on all of the tables, there's a pitcher of water with, like, lemon slices in it. You're like, no, the prisoners don't get that here. We don't do the lemon water. Cucumber, no, they don't get water.
It's adorable. He does get taken prisoner. A bunch of guys show up and they're smart enough to stand far enough away from grab distance that he's taken prisoner. And they take him to a warehouse, but Michael Winslow is spying on them from the trunk of his tiny red car.
His car is so fucking funny. That is not supposed to be funny. He escaped with a bumper car from a family fun center is what he did. They think that's it's literally supposed to be cool though. Like that shows up a bunch of times in the episode. And the first time he pulls to a stop, he has to grab his own knees and pull them up to his chest in order to swivel out of this tiny, tiny car. But then later he like drives up and there's like a cool city kid who's like, oh shit, what a fucking fine ass car. I don't have the subtitles, but I know that's what he said. Like, really?
Do you know how he escaped with that tiny car? They said, hey, you can't take that car. And he said, and they said, holy shit, that's the sound of that car being behind me. And then he left with the car.
Works every time.
Eric Estrada shows up and he throws drugs everywhere. I love Eric Estrada's character so much.
My notes say he makes a salt circle of cocaine around himself to keep out straight edge demons in an episode of Angel that everyone hated.
Can't get to me, nerd ass demons.
They had him, so all the mooks come and they barge in on the fight when he finds his body double, when he finds normal large, and they face off. And it turns out he's not large enough. It turns out you have to be extra large in order to take extra large. But, like, the mooks grab him and take him from this, like, clearly zoned for murder warehouse and bring him all the way to the Kingpin's cocaine storage center. Like, let's bring him to the one place where there's all of the evidence in the world. And we're, like, already laughing about that. And then Eric Estrada gets there and just pulls out cocaine and starts showing it to him. Like, look at all of my cocaine. What are you doing?
They also bring the Pretender large with them. And I couldn't tell at first because, obviously... I was like, wait, is this because they can't tell which is which?
I thought they were going to do the shoot the wrong one.
Right, yeah, because they have both of them at gunpoint.
He's so good.
Wait, no, he's not in his 30s. I remember that much.
I think the thing that stuck with me the most about the scene was how Michael Winslow sneaks in to, like, hatch his scheme, but, like, he's from the wrong genre. Like, everyone else is, like, prison stabbers and cocaine murderers, and then Michael Winslow is, like, tiptoeing in like a cartoon kitty cat trying to steal a pie.
And then he saves the day, of course, because he's Michael Winslow, by doing the sound effects over the PA system of the cops being here. But again, they have the Italian guy dubbing him who can't do sound effects, so he's going wee-oo, wee-oo.
You're not going to believe this, Brockway. I have a clip.
Oh, okay.
Arrivederci al mondo, Jack. Portatelo via.
Il magazzino è circondato! Buttate le armi!
Here's the great thing about that, right? He starts making all those sound effects, and if it was Michael Winslow, it would work. And if it was a police academy, it would work. And they would be like, oh, they're fooled by it. They still have to pretend, because like on the day of filming, I'm assuming they didn't know there was going to be dubbed. So they all scatter. They're like, it looks like they're the biggest idiots in the fucking world. Like somebody got on a PA, went, wee-oo, wee-oo, and they went, fuck, the cops are here?
What are we going to do? Because he's doing like morning DJ sounds mixed with machine guns and dogs.
An actual clip of dogs, like small dogs.
Yeah, I guess his sound effects are so good they thought there was a tiny DJ getting killed by machine guns and dogs in the intercom speaker.
There's no way. Like, he wouldn't have put any effort. He wouldn't have bothered doing the sound effects if Michael Winslow knew they were going to dub him when he was filming this. So he must have found out when he got like the clip, when he saw the show, he was like, what?
Exactly.
Okay, I didn't know they were going to dub me, but surely they won't. Did they dub over the sound effects? Why did they have me?
Like, Italy now just thinks that Michael Winslow is a goofy guy who tries to do sound effects and just kind of can't.
Who's intentionally bad at sound effects.
Like
that's why they think
that's
he's famous.
funny. It's funny. He can't do the sound effect, but he tried to do it anyway. He found a microphone.
Because this was huge there. What if he goes there and somebody recognizes him and they're like, oh, it's the guy that does the terrible sound effects. It would hurt his feelings so much.
It would eat him alive. Absolutely.
And then he would make incredible sound effects and they'd be like, why didn't you do that on the fucking show? That's amazing.
You should have done that. That sounds crazy. It takes him like a full 2 minutes to think, oh, we should go kill whoever's fucking around in the office right next to us. Like that someone's making sound effects on our PA system. The office where you would do that is literally right here. I can look in the window here. I'm going to play more of this clip because it wasn't even close to done, and I don't think anyone will believe me unless I play this.
The fucking Muppets are invading.
So one of those last gunshots, they finally found where Michael Winslow was. The only office in this tiny warehouse where you could do what he's doing. And they started shooting at him. That's 51 seconds, and that wasn't even all of it.
Just a child playing with action figures.
Yeah. Or like, did you ever have like that one kind of like toy laser in the 80s and 90s that would just make 3 sounds that rotated through them? And one of them was just like...
I mean, he's clearly got like a kazoo or something at one point. Like the police, they don't use the kazoo so much. I don't know. I mean, I'm not from, maybe in Italy in the 90s, there was such thing as a police kazoo.
I feel like if you just did the machine guns and it sounded like a machine gun, people might think we're being shot at by a machine gun. But the dogs and the like morning DJ, I feel like it can't be anything other than someone fucking around on a PA. That's just like, I don't know, maybe I was raised different.
And then the snork voices.
Right? The snork. I wouldn't think, my God, also the snorks are here. We've got to take cover.
It was fucking incredible.
It's for a full minute. A full minute he does it. Anyway, they start shooting him at him and he runs away. But then he fires back. He misses with every bullet he fires. I'm 99% certain he never hits a single thing he's ever aimed at in the show. And there is an episode where he opens fire next to a grade school. He misses point blank range.
Thank God.
I think it's time to talk about Michael Winslow. He hasn't done a ton since Police Academy, and that's okay. I think he was really beloved when he made those. They were super fun and original to have sound effect powers. But there's only enough applications of that for maybe one movie. You can make it, sound like someone noisy is nearby or do a prank phone call, but that's kind of it. That's the limits of your power. But Police Academy, they'd have him do things like he'd make a fart sound and people would be like, oh no, I think I farted. So I guess my point with that is that trying to find a use for this ability, it broke the Police Academy writers' brains. And it might have broken Michael Winslow because he went on to be more famous for having an absurd ego. Which brings me to Punsteria's 200 plus puns about Michael Winslow that will whoop you in the... I'm just kidding.
Oh my God. I thought for a second there, I really thought they would. I thought they would do it. Like, I wouldn't put it past them.
Yeah, I wouldn't have been
absolutely.
surprised.
I could have gotten 10 or 12 in and you'd never know I was kidding. There's a story Nick Swardson told about him that went viral. It inspired a 2024 Cracked article that is just 100 words transcribing it with an embedded video. You all remember that classic 2024 Cracked article about it. Anyway, I have a clip.
I remember I brought up Michael Winslow from Police Academy. He's the guy that does sound effects. And I went up to him and I'm like, hey, I'm emceeing. What do you want for your intro? And he goes, don't. Talk to me, please. Get it from my manager. And I'm like, okay, but you're right here.
Yeah.
You can just tell me. So I go to his manager. He's like, yeah, don't do that. And I'm like, okay. Okay, what the fuck? I swear to God. He goes, write this down. Police Academy 1. Police Academy 2. Police Academy 3. Police Academy 4. Police Academy 5. I was like, can I just say Police Academy?
All the police academies?
Yeah. What, I have to fucking number them? What are you fucking... Get the fuck out of here.
Okay. So I tried to find more videos from... Because I figured... Michael Winslow would have reacted to this. I didn't really find anything. He doesn't really have an online presence. There's a clip that goes around him every now and then. He was on a Norwegian talk show like 15 years ago, and you can really get a sense of his ego, but also his talent. I'm going to play a clip. It's incredible if you haven't watched this.
All right, let me set up the drums here.
Yeah, set up. Which song is it?
That's Michael Winslow. And that's a guy with a real guitar.
Yeah. What do you want to do? Led Zeppelin. And you want to do the original artist key of E?
Yeah.
All right.
Like
Listen.
this.
That's Michael Winslow. So incredible, right?
It's amazing they didn't cut that and substitute him with like a Dutch guy. Just going boom, 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 drum, drum.
But you could hear that ego at the start where he's like, let's play Led Zeppelin in, do you think maybe in the original artist's key of E? Like, what the fuck, dude? Get the fuck out of here. But here's the thing is like, you could tell from that, he thinks his gift is like a little too precious and valuable to waste except on special occasions, which is why I think he must have been eaten alive by the dubbing that they did in Extra Large. He's not like on TikTok cranking out bird calls and machine gun noises. The first video I found was one he posted pretty recently called, and I quote, Sound Effects Extraordinaire and Comedy Genius with 2 S's. It's exactly 1 minute long because I think it was required of him to make a video that was 1 minute long. It's amazing. I'm going to play the whole thing, even though he runs out of things to say at 30 seconds.
Hey, everybody. Michael Winslow, Noisy Man here. Good to see you all. And to all of the troops in Poland. I'm coming somewhere near the military base, near you, live. Looking forward to seeing you all. I'm coming to Poland. I'm going to do some great shows. We're going to do music. We're going to do comedy. What am I going to do? Well, of course, there's going to be the noises, but of course, there's going to be that too. Music, comedy, and of course, tune in and it's going to be a lot more of everything. Get ready to enjoy the show. This is going to be a good one. I look forward to seeing you all. So make sure you tune in, and you know where to go. Look at the bottom of your screen for more information, and of course, michaelwinslowmedia.com. So if you don't mind, I'm going to get my AI in. You may start your message now. Made you look.
Made me look at what? What?
How did he run out of things to say so soon?
I don't know.
It was like 15 seconds in.
But like American troops stationed at Poland, he's like, hey, all 11 of you for this war front we're not engaged in. And when he says, look at the bottom of your screen for more information, first of all, there's nothing on the bottom of the screen. Second of all, you're going to the military base where they live. Or he said, I'll be near the military base where you live. So
oh, it's unofficial.
I don't even know. He's just cruising around Poland doing volunteer USO shows off base.
Like,
but I just also love that. I'm sorry, Merritt. I'm sorry to do this to you.
Yeah, give me another clip.
Just coming on and being like, we're going to do some of this. Like, what the fuck was that, Michael? Also, a little bit of.
Oh, wait, was there no like visual on those?
No, that was just him like sucking on a microphone.
Holy shit.
I don't know what.
I assumed he like showed a clip while he was doing that made it make sense in context.
No, we're just supposed to be impressed that he made a windy noise with his mouth.
It's amazing that he doesn't realize what he has when he only has one thing.
Yep.
You have like the sound, you can make sound effects of things. Don't just make sound effects. It's like of things.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
That was not a thing.
Yeah.
No
it has to be
thing
of
has
things.
ever made that sound effect.
And like the context is people think it's the thing.
Right. That's what's impressive. I can make sounds that aren't a thing.
Like you make they're really interesting sounds, but like if it's just a weird noise, it's nothing. People are like, yeah, that's weird. Do one that I know. Can you play one of the hits like Police Siren? Or dog barking?
Yeah, dog barking mixed with radio DJ and machine gun?
How do you not know what you have when you've only had one thing for like 40 years?
AI, bloop. Made you look.
What? At the computer? What?
We thought a real robot was here.
I have to assume at this point, like obviously it's a really cool talent and it's genuinely impressive when he's making sounds that are of things. That said, I have to assume if I go on TikTok or YouTube now and search like dark guy doing sound effects and find a way to filter out the Michael Winslow stuff, there are going to be at least dozens of people who do this now, right? Because this is one of those things that's like really impressive on like a talk show or in a movie in the 80s and 90s. And you're like, well, I can't do that. And then it's like, yeah, but it turns out there are like a lot of people in the world and more than one of them can probably do that. So like, I don't know, maybe he's self-conscious about that, about just like, maybe someone came up to him one time after a show and was like, hey, Michael, you know, big inspiration to me and I learned how to do this. And he was just like, never do that again. Like,
I own Police Siren.
Right. Like
I challenge you to a siren off.
This doesn't seem like the kind of talent where you welcome other people, like a community of people doing it. Those people seem to be more like threats rather than kind of a creative community of people.
You say that, but I do own 2 books about making sound effects, and I like them because I don't know as a reader if I'm doing it right, which is very funny to me.
Yeah, it's not a book thing.
Put your lips together and go. I'm like, all right, I'm nailing this. Here's another thing I noticed. The very last credited person on the cast and crew is the assistant to Michael Winslow. I think it's maybe because that's the most vital job on the set is keeping this guy's baby ego in check. Speaking of closing credits. I think we can go out on this. That's enough podcasting for the day.
Wait for it.
Here it comes.
Oh shit.
It's a shotgun. Bring in the big gun.
Double up.
Yes! Aruga! Aruga! I am a bird. I am a bird.
That's enough pistol shots. Time to bring in the zany fucking clown music again.
Oh, what a show.
Einstein 100 Frankfurt. Einstein 100